If I gave you $10,000 today, your future would not be decided by the amount, but by your decision. Most people think wealth begins with millions. But the truth is, the first 10,000 is the real test. It exposes your discipline, your vision, and your level of thinking. The 1% do not see 10,000 as spending power. They see it as a weapon, and here you will understand how they deploy it, so it multiplies instead of disappearing. Before a single dollar is invested, the 1% change identity. They do not act like consumers. They act like capital allocators. This invisible move changes everything. Average people ask, "What can I buy?" The wealthy ask, "What can this buy for me?" They detach emotion from money and attach strategy. They understand that $10,000 is not freedom, but it is leverage, and leverage in the right hands becomes momentum. They study opportunities, analyze markets, and sharpen skills, because knowledge increases the return on every dollar invested. Without this shift, 10,000 fades with it. 10,000 becomes a seed. The 1% never throw all capital into one idea. They divide with intention. A portion may go into index funds or strong companies that compound over time. Another portion may become the base of a small business or digital asset that creates cash flow. Another portion is invested into themselves, courses, mentorship, skill acquisition, because higher income skills multiply. Earning capacity. They balance stability with growth, safety with opportunity. They do not gamble. They calculate. They examine risk-reward ratios, asking, what's the downside? What is the timeline? What is the scalability? 10,000 placed correctly is not a bet. It is a structured move. The wealthy prioritize cash flow over status. They understand appreciation is powerful, but cash flow is control with $10,000. They search for systems that produce recurring income. This could be a small service operation equipment that can be rented inventory that can be resold, or digital products that scale online. The focus is simple. Make the money return with friends when cash flow begins. Even small amounts, it builds confidence and options. They reinvest profits instead of upgrading lifestyle. They delay gratification because exponential growth requires patience. Every dollar earned is redirected back into the machine. Compounding is the silent partner of the 1% they respect. Time more than trends. They do not chase hype. They choose assets that grow steadily. They automate investments and build systems. So discipline does not depend on emotion. They track metrics, revenue margins, return on investment growth rate, and adjust based on data. Not fear. 10,000 invested at a steady return over years becomes more powerful than a lucky win, followed by reckless spending. They think in decades, not weeks. This long-term lens protects them from impulsive mistakes. Money grows faster around the right people. The 1% use their first capital to access rooms, conversations, and relationships that expand opportunity. They attend events, join masterminds, seek mentors, collaborate with operators, because proximity accelerates progress. $10,000 can open doors to partnerships that generate greater returns than isolated effort. They understand that information flows through networks, and access often matters more than intelligence. Positioning themselves strategically multiplies chances of finding leverage deals. As capital grows, they protect it. They learn about taxes, legal structures, and asset protection. Early, they separate personal spending from investment capital, build systems to track expenses, profits, and growth, and treat even small capital like institutional money. This discipline builds habits that scale when 10,000 becomes 100,000. And more, protection is not fear. It is foresight. The defining move of the 1% is reinvestment. Profits are not rewards. They are fuel. Every gain strengthens the engine. They expand what works, cut what fails, and search for opportunities where upside outweighs downside. Over time, this cycle becomes automatic. Capital creates cash flow funds, assets increase net worth unlocks bigger deals, and it all began with disciplined deployment of $10,000. Your first $10,000 is not about comfort. It is about character. It is about whether you think short-term or long-term, whether you chase attention or build assets, whether you consume or compound the 1%. Follow a simple pattern identity shift. Precise allocation, cash flow, focused time leverage, strategic networks protection, and relentless reinvestment. Apply these principles, and your first 10,000 becomes the foundation of financial power. And the moment you treat it like the 1%, do you stop playing small and start building real wealth.